Antwerpen, der Dreammaker Dimitri van den Bergh.
With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got, don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth.
Wie gesagt, wenn so Dart spielt, wie tanzt, dann wird auch heute keine Probleme bekommen. Fordert die aktuelle Nummer 12 der Welt heraus. Der Mann hat im vergangenen Jahr eines der European Tour Turniere gewinnen können, stand in diesem Jahr in den letzten beiden Wochen jetzt zweimal hintereinander im Finale und hat dieses Finale gegen MVG verloren. Aus Stoke-on-Trent, Ian Diamond White.
Man decided quickly, yes I did, to just go down and check out the show. Yeah, they were dancing and singing and moving to the grooving. And just when it hit me, somebody turned around and shouted, play that funky music, white boy. Play that funky music right. Play that funky music, white boy. Lay down the boogie and play that funky music till you die. Till you die. Oh, till you die.
Two more games for you this afternoon. We get to see two of the top three seeds in action in them as well. The number 2 seed, Gerwyn Price, takes on Gavin Carlin, a Euro Tour debutant, in the final game of this afternoon session here at the European Darts Grand Prix. But before that, here at the Glaspalast in Sindelfingen, it's the Dreammaker, Dimitri van den Bergh, the two-time World Youth Champion, against the number 3 seed, Ian Diamond White, who's made the final of the two most recent Euro Tour events. In both of them, he was beaten, granted, but he was very, very close last weekend. The Diamond is getting closer to the top boys. He's always been right there with them in the floor events. He won his first stage event last year on the European Tour. He's been getting closer to adding to that this year, and maybe it's a prelude to what Ian White can do in the big TV tournaments this year. Many people in darts are baffled as to why he hasn't achieved more in the big televised events. But the European Tour is a proven training ground for people to deliver here and then go on to greater things. It is the Diamond versus the Dreammaker for a spot in the final day here in Sindelfingen. Paul Nicholson joins me in the commentary box for it.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg in, throw first. Game on!
I am actually genuinely excited for Ian White for the rest of this season, because I think he's starting to go up a notch. And I think we've been waiting for him to do that for a few seasons. Yes, he won last year on the European Tour, but in his own words, he nervously got across the line. I think last week he told the world,
91.
I'm ready to go deeper now. I am more equipped than I've ever been. He looks chipper, he looks confident, his game looks good. There are big averages in there.
60.
All we're waiting for, Ian, is more proof that you can go deep in big events. And what has Cadby got on his head there?
I missed that.
Looks like half a set of pyjamas.
25.
Well, look, oh, there we go. Why not? Why not?
Words escape me.
Now, there aren't words sometimes for Corey Cadby.
140.
Diamond leaves himself at a finish after 9. You can expect more of that over the course of this game. last week in Austria, he beat Jamie Hughes 29. In a belter of a game. He had a scrappy one, but won convincingly against Keegan Brown. 101 averages in beating Beaton and James Wade, and the Wade game was fabulous. And then in the final against MVG, averaged almost a ton, took him to a last leg decider, and he was not very far away at all.
There was one finish last week that impressed me more than anything else, and it was against Jamie Hughes to win the match. It was a 61. He hit the 25, he gambled, hit the 25, then he stepped back, took a breath, and he hit the double 18 first try. It was just clinical stuff. Could be clinical. Oh, big number. Commentator's curse. United.
75.
Well, no damage done with Dimitri back on 176. Even the 180 didn't get him to a finish.
100. Ian, you require 32.
I love the way Ian approaches the Yoki and the focus he shows. Luckily, he's on double 4. And he's there.
Game shot on the first leg.
If you look at the way he approaches the Yoki, he looks at the carpet and he carefully puts that right foot forward. And you may call me someone who analyses the game too much, maybe.
Okay.
But
you're someone who analyses the game too much.
There you go.
It's routine, isn't it?
Yeah. Gary Anderson runs to the Yoki and kicks the Yoki. He physically kicks it. Ian White carefully places that right foot down just behind that mark. And I think that's just another way of him just getting into a nice, calm rhythm, and more proof of brilliant darts there.
Well, look, we make a big thing about players having rhythm, about doing the same things, having repeatable actions, but the action doesn't necessarily start there. You know, it's approaching the Yoki, it's doing the same thing over and over again, and it allows you to do this over and over again. 5 perfect darts, no more.
I think everything to do with the Ian White game is precise. There's nothing rushed. There's nothing rash about it. He doesn't waste darts.
37.
Carefully puts that right foot forward, and then he goes into a machine-like rhythm.
Look at this. Superb.
68.
168 leaves himself on a double after 9 darts.
Well, if Dimitri van den Bergh is going to get into this match,
40.
either he's going to have to find his own rhythm, or someone might have to give him an early Christmas present with a dart in it to add to the 3 that he's got.
Round the board we go. Oh,
14.
dear. Well, are we going to have another one of the... Because the last 2 tournaments he's made the final, only beaten by Van Gerwen. But the one before that, he had a mare against Karol Sedlacek. And there were little glimpses the following week where he was nervy on the doubles.
Well, he can't beat a 13-darter on double 1.
No score.
Well,
Dimitri, you require
you would take it now.
167.
This here would possibly be the steal of the century.
Dimitri van den Bergh is not going to steal. But you're always in with a chance when your opponent
79.
is in the madhouse.
Ian, you require 2.
First dart north.
1 up.
Second dart in.
Game
1 in.
shot in the second
I mean,
leg.
not textbook, but it'll do.
Third leg in. Throw
These
first.
sayings don't come out of
Game
thin
on.
air, people. It's experience, and it works. Get yourself a little rangefinder just north of the double 1, and then plant one in there. Ian White has got more experience in his left little fingernail than most players on the planet. He's been doing this a very long time, and he really still enjoys it. That's why he's the number 3 seed. That's why we're going to see him in Blackpool. We're going to see him in all of the tournaments for the rest of the year. And he's almost inherited that Terry Jenkins title of the most experienced, constant winner who hasn't won a big title.
Yeah, Terry, of course, did get to a number 9 major finals, which
96.
is something that is missing from Ian White's CV. He hasn't got a semi-final yet, but I swear it has to happen. It would be the most baffling thing. Ian White could play this game for another 10 years, easy. Like, he's not lost any love for it. He's playing better than ever. That's the thing. But if he were not to go and make at least a major semi-final, I would expect him to make a finals. I think he's got the game to win something. He's that good. But if he didn't do that, at least make a semi or a final, it would be one of the most baffling things I've ever seen in darts.
I agree. The one thing that encourages me the most, and we've talked about how the European Tour has helped everybody within the professional ranks get better on stage, but the way that it's structured on the Sunday, playing last 16, quarter-final, semi-final and final, Ian's getting more exposure to that, which in my opinion makes him more dangerous in the tournaments where they have quarter-finals, semi-finals and final on the same day.
Yeah.
Like the UK Open, like the European Championships and the Players' Championship finals. That leaves 48. That leaves double 16.
89.
At the minute, there are only two things competing in this game. One is Ian White, and one is the outer ring. Because Dimitri van den Bergh is just a non-entity in this contest at the moment.
134, and you require 16.
You just can't seem to live with Ian White
Game
scoring.
shot on the third leg. Ian White,
It's like
full
Ian
break,
White is
Dimitri,
playing
the
level
front
6
first.
on the
Game
computer,
on.
and someone needs to tell the computer to go up a level. We know he's got it in the locker, but sometimes Dimitri has those days where it just doesn't click, but maybe someone's just pressed that button.
Well, it was very odd when we saw Dimitri last time out in Saarbrücken. He won his opening game and he wasn't particularly impressive in the first round, but it was a game he should have won. And then we thought, well, look, he's not going to play at that level. He'll improve. He saw off Thomas Kohnlein in Saarbrücken, and then we thought he'll improve. I know he's got Van Gerwen in the next round, but at least he's going to go up there and be better. And he's got the game to beat Van Gerwen. He's done it. Did it in front of a world record crowd. 20,000 people watched him. In Germany, beat MVG. And if anything, he was worse. And it was odd, because you don't expect that from Dimitri. You expect him to be pushing on, because this year he made his first senior final in a ranking event. And you just thought, well, he's cracked it. This would be it. And on stages, that's where Dimitri comes alive. This is a much better leg from him.
We've been talking in the previous match with Ricky Evans and Keegan Brown about both those guys looking great for the match play. Not just for qualification, but for actually causing upsets and taking scalps.
Definitely.
Dimitri van den Bergh is not in that race right now. He's going to have a big run somewhere. Double 8.
79.
And everything seems to have flipped in this leg. 2-2-5 for Ian White. That's the kind of position that Dimitri's been in the last 3 legs.
Well, it's enough to get to a finish at least.
You require 8.
2 4s then.
Game shot on the
No
fourth
problem,
leg.
and he's on the board.
Dimitri van den Bergh.
That's a much better leg from Dimitri. Maybe that 13 darter will just inspire him a little bit to mount an assault on the Ian White throw.
Well, he's going to need it, because giving a player of Ian White's calibre a 3-leg head start is not advisable.
100.
Where do you rate the Dimitri van den Bergh shirt in your favourites?
I quite like it. It's distinctive. I mean,
It looks like the Belgian flag through a kaleidoscope.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, it's got an identity, hasn't it? It's linked with his nationality.
I suppose you could say that both shirts are kaleidoscopic.
Yeah.
83.
I think the Diamonds made the most of his nickname. He hasn't got this isn't the shirt with the little sparkly bits on it, but yeah, I think they're both pretty solid. They're distinctive. That's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, you want to have a shirt that you can be easily recognised in. And I love the change of collar that Ian White has employed this year. I really like it. Staying with the kids, Ian, and there's Glenn Durrant, James Richardson, who is very happy right now.
Yeah, so he should be. His highest ever average on the European Tour. Superb stuff earlier on. 102.19 in beating Mervyn King. This is more like it from Dimitri van den Bergh. He is mounting an assault on the Ian White throw, but a maximum from the diamonds, well, even a ton 40 leaves him in a great position.
100. Make sure you
Shanghai.
86.
Dimitri is very good on the bullseye. Quite a big dart, and it didn't set in his fingers right there, so he wasn't afraid to take a step back, and there you go. That's why you do it, because if it doesn't feel right, step back and reassess.
Dimitri van den Bergh was not in this contest in any meaningful way for the first 3 legs, but he's just rattled off the next 2 in 25 darts. And it's coincided with Ian White going off the boil completely.
77.
Beautiful thing about best of 11 darts is that you can get all sorts of different matches. You can get matches where people really find it hard to break. People find it really hard to hold. Then you get the games where someone takes 2 or 3 legs in a row and then the other guy gets 2 or 3 in a row, and there's real... It's a bit like a Richter scale. The game, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. Yeah, you can't read them.
It's still a relatively short format, but within that there is the opportunity for shifts in momentum.
34.
And right now, Dimitri van den Bergh is in the ascendancy.
That's the dart that Ian is looking for. He's bashing those into it successfully with one of them. That's a moustache on the right-hand side, isn't it? It's world class.
It really is. A real lack of moustaches in darts right now.
Yeah, it seems to have fallen out of favour. Dennis Priestley, he had one of the best.
Yeah.
Ronnie Sharp, he had the best one by a mile for me.
Terry the Bull himself, a man we've mentioned, was always a fan of the diminutive tash. Obviously beaten, but beaten is evergreen. Beaten transcends the sport. Look at that! Oh yes!
Well, Terry Jenkins shaved his off for charity. It was shaved by James Wade for a very large amount of money. Down in the town of Horsham in Sussex.
Now then. Oh, and the chance goes. And Dimitri van den Bergh might be about to win a 3rd leg on the spin and put a completely different complexion on this game. But if it does not go, Ian White is there to pounce, to reassert that 2-leg advantage. Crucial moment in the match.
That characteristic inhalation, exhalation,
20.
and misses that invite Ian White in to get that 2-leg cushion back, and he cannot wait to get to the oche.
Doubles, Ian.
28.
Doubles. He misses
32.
another 3. And it might be one of those days for Ian White. Usually so solid, so consistent.
No mistake this time from the Belgian. Like we said at the beginning of that leg, get these games where people get a cluster, and then the other guy does. 3 to White, 3 to van den Bergh. He's equalised.
95.
Again, it's a great first dart from Ian. He doesn't walk away with as many points as he perhaps feels he should have.
Does Ian White like playing in Sindelfingen? I'm sure he does, because he's been to a final here before. It was a long time ago, admittedly. But we know he likes playing in Saarbrücken.
Yes, well, Saarbrücken is an incredible venue for Ian White.
That's more like it. And you got a big bet to aim at on the right-hand side. I'll just put it on the left side, just because I can. And believe that that is the first 180 of the match for Ian White. Could be the 4th for van den Bergh.
Well, he does have this in his locker, Dimitri van den Bergh. When he does find his range on the trebles, he can score very, very well. Ian White will sense that these are key moments. He has been completely in charge of this game for the first 3 legs. He's seen Dimitri come back at him, and he knows if he doesn't stop this right now, it could turn into a one-sided affair.
99.
I'm surprised that Dimitri didn't go for the bull on that last start.
86 was pinned by Dimitri. This part of the board again for Ian. And this time it goes 11 darter.
8th leg, Dimitri to throw first. Game on.
Well, for me, the best dart of that entire leg was the 3rd to last one from Ian White. He's already scored 80 and he's blocked the bed with a second dart.
91.
But he went for the 60 as opposed to the treble 19 because he thought, if I hit only 20 here, I'd rather be on 126 than 127 because I'll get 2 pokes at the 19s. That's someone who knows what he's doing right now.
Well, maybe it'll just... even when you've had a commanding lead, when you see that sort of eroded away, even though it's only level, sometimes there must be a temptation to panic a little bit and feel... I know, look at the score, it's level, but the last few minutes, I've been second best, and I'm in danger. If that continues, something has to change right now, and you can panic, can't you? It puts a lot more pressure on you.
Absolutely right. I think the amount of matches that Ian plays, he's like a sponge. He soaks up experience even at his age. But because of the experience that he has, I think he's been in most situations, let's say it that, because after the week we've had in darts, I think it's fair to say that it's all a bit unpredictable sometimes. But you never see him panic. He doesn't give a lot away.
100.
I've played Ian many times, and it's really hard to feed off him. You've almost got to go into your own bubble. And you know you've got to play well, because he is one of the best players in the world.
Well, he is, and you're right, it was here that he made the final of the German Darts Masters back in the first year of the Euro Tour. And then he won his European Tour event in the Netherlands last year, but he's made 2 Euro Tour finals this year. He's not done that before in the same year. It suggests that Ian White is becoming more comfortable with big stage darts. And he's left himself 80, so if there is a slip from the young Belgian, Ian is there to take advantage.
So many choices. He's going to go for double 18. Oh, done well. That's clutch. 4-4. This game could well go the distance. And the quality of the game so far, Ian White probably thought, yeah, he's going to hit this.
Well, it has got better as the game has gone on, and the averages are now getting up towards that 100 mark. We're in the sort of 97 range for the pair of them. But Ian White has missed 11 darts at double, and were it not for those misses, we could be looking at a monstrous Ian White average. There you see, 113 first 9. By and large, he has outscored Dimitri, but it's difficult when you look at the stats here, because Dimitri didn't get going for 3, didn't do anything for 3 legs, pretty much. Oh, lovely stuff.
Well, that really sorts out the last visit, where he had 2 treble 7s. Gets himself that lead back, and you have to feel that the experience of playing people like Jamie Hughes a lot lately in tight quality contests, that's got to stand Ian White in good stead, because he knows the quality of Dimitri van den Bergh. He knows that he can hold himself together in tight matches.
59.
He can't leave himself a finish, though. Dimitri needs to fill this up to get to one. But a couple of trebles gets him right there with the diamond in this leg. Not that treble, did he?
It all seems to be going the other way 38. Now. Ian White seems to be missing less. We always say, steel tip darts is about what you hit. Soft tip darts is about what you miss. But at the minute, it's very simple. 59. Ian White is hitting more than Dimitri. That's the name of the game. That's making it really simple.
One 40 in the require 141.
Just 2 points in it in this leg. Just perhaps a momentary pause there for Ian. He knows this is a big little section of the game. And the 1-4-3. We saw Dimi win yesterday against Michael
44.
Rastovitz by
Dimitri
taking
require
out
143.
a big combination check out. One here could win him this game. Oh dear.
Well, I guarantee he wasn't going for the treble 12.
49.
I think that took Russ Prix off guard as well, that first start. But still the same equation. Now it's different. Now it's very different. Ian White takes the lead again.
Dimitri to throw first.
Very much the favourite. He only needs one. Dimitri needs to be perfect from here on in. And judging by the last 3 darts, he's going to have to gather himself.
We've only seen one game go the distance so far in this tournament.
85.
That was when the number 12 seed Joe Cullen was beaten by Mark McGeaney. He's one of 3 seeded players to go out. Mervyn King beaten by the excellent James Richardson, and Ricky Evans beaten by a very efficient Keegan Brown display.
Dimitri's been doing a few arm exercises at the back of the stage. He's been doing an Alan Norris and waving them around. Maybe he's just feeling a little tense. Been some good stuff in this match. We always gauge the quality of a match by the 15 and below stuff, and there has been a little bit of it.
58.
The predominant amount has been over 5 visits.
Yeah, but
Still
lot
a quality
of those,
match.
Yeah, and you know, the first 3 legs there, Ian White was missing darts for a lot of it, or messing about in the very first leg, not setting up properly. I mean, he was on a finish after 9. If he'd been a little less messy at the end of legs, a whole string of those could be well under 15. His average could be well over 100, and this game, it might already have been over by now. As it is, he has an opportunity here, the Diamond, to get this done without the stress of a last leg decider.
Well, you said a line there that I'm sure the Liverpool fans were probably uttering during the week. A little less messy.
60.
Well, no finish left. And Dimitri has a great chance here. 2 trebles, 2 big ones that is, will get him into position to strike maybe all of them.
What a maximum that is. His 5th in the game, and potentially the most important.
Now, you have the equation. Do you go for it? Or do you do what Dimitri's about to do, in my opinion? Go for a big 6.
I think he does split it here, Dimitri, but let's see.
38.
Looking over to the right-hand side of the board.
Didn't even contemplate going for double 19, double 16 for 5-5.
Game shown at 10th leg. Dimitri.
And the decision is vindicated. 180-38 out to force the last leg decider. Only the second one we've seen all weekend here in Sindelfingen. Mark McGeaney knocked out the seeded player Joe Cullen earlier on in one. Can Dimitri van den Bergh break the number 3 seed's throw and end his quest to make it 3 consecutive Euro Tour finals? A phenomenal feat if that were to happen.
This performance from Dimitri has been far from his best, but it has been very gutsy. He is hung on in there, and he looks ready to sprint and take the opportunity. Has Ian White got plenty left in the tank? He needs another treble. Doesn't get it.
Stolen the darts here. The 24-year-old from Belgium has a massive chance. 3-0 down to the number 3 seed. And he finds himself effectively throwing for the match in the deciding leg.
58.
When he comes back to the board, Dimitri will look at the 19s again. Ian White needs to pound that red bit. He doesn't want to move, and I don't blame him.
100.
Last thing you want to do is leave a 1 on the end or some other number. You want to keep it nice and straight with a 0 on the end. So if you can keep straight, get a 140 next time, you should get a shot for the leg.
95.
Dimitri will not have a poke for the match in his next visit, but he is poised just in that danger area. He's going to leave a finish in his next visit. It's a case of what finish he can leave. That is a shocker of a dart for the diamond. Great adjustment.
81.
Bit too much air on that last one. Just came out of the hand a bit early. It is advantage Belgium in this one. He goes into the one. He adjusts really well.
80.
Very similar visit to the last one of the diamond. This one is so finely poised. 128 is not an easy finish. What Ian White would give for a 139 here. Has to switch. Got to take the 9 off. Is it the 7?
Wow. The 132 is makeable. But the 128, I've got to say, it's an easier shot. And Dimitri gets the first go at it.
He will stay there. Successfully for 10s. This is to knock out Ian White. Now, can Ian White do an MVG
132.
25, 57 bull, or 2 bulls for double 16?
That's a beauty, but is there room for another? He can't find it.
Indecisive. He looked at the 42 and then he went back to the bullseye. There was plenty of room for it.
Dimitri van den Bergh and his incredible run to the World Championship quarterfinals. Oh my word, oh my word. He beat some of the best players in the world in that run.
18.
And he has missed more match darts to beat one of the best players on the Euro Tour this year. Ian White, a huge, huge lifeline that he clings on to. The finalists for the last 2 Euro Tour events could still make it. 3 finals in 3 events, but he only does so by scraping past the young Dreammaker, who missed a series of match darts, having come from 3-0 down. Cracking contest, but it's the diamond who prevails. He'll face Keegan Brown for a spot in the quarters.
Ganz knapper 6:5 Erfolg für Ian Diamond White. Aber auch Applaus für Dimitri van den Bergh, der hier ein tolles Comeback hingelegt hat. Ian, congratulations. That was close at the end, huh? Even though you were 3-0 up.
Yeah, it was very close. You know, Dimitri can play, but if you watch him over the last few weeks, he's been playing Michael van Gerwen 79 average. He's been playing, you know, other people 80 average. I'm not saying to him. I just said to him now, play your own game, and you can play like that. You know, it just seems to be every time people play me, they play out the skin. They play well.
But you were winning at that time, you know, playing 2 finals on the European Tour. It's very difficult to beat you.
Yeah, I'm playing well at the moment, and I've got a bit of luck there, you know, and got through. I could have been out, you know, and gone home, but yeah, I'm playing quite well. And hopefully now I can change it, but, you know, if he'd have hit that double, I'd have been out.
Am I right? You did a 9-darter on that stage in 2012?
Yeah, I think it was against Barney, I think. So,
Oh, really?
No, Andy Hamilton. Yeah, so, and then I lost in the final to Adrian Lewis. But yeah, I like this place. I like it. It's lovely.
Cool. See you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Ian White. Whoopla.